Hi, I'm Karen. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, I'm glad you stopped by. In this video today, I'm going to be showing you how I went about creating this look. I've been wanting to use this Wet n Wild eyeshadow for the longest. I love how pigmented it is. It's like that duochrome feel that's in right now. It looks like a peacock color. They only have but so many palettes, so you will definitely see it in, you'll see it in any, CVS, any Walmart, any store that carries Wet n Wild products. Anyway, I just love this color. I also use the BH Cosmetics as well, the Take Me to Brazil palette. It has a lot of shimmery eyeshadow colors in there, so I use some of the colors from in there as well to create this look. Anyway, if you would like to see how I created this look, make sure to keep watching. Alright, so I've already primed my skin and I've done my eyebrows. I'm just going to move on to applying this eyeshadow base. And this is by NYX in Base Skin Tone. And I'm going to go with this color from Physicians Formula. Is the Baked Sands palette. I'm going to use this contour color from Black Radiance in Bronze Glow. Go back to that base color. I'm going to use this to just blend out the edges. I'm going to move to a warmer color. This is Oktoberfest by Coastal Scents. And I'm also going to change brushes. I actually like this slanted brush because I like to flip it upside down and like work it in here in my crease area. Really love it for that, but it's just such a great angle brush. And of course you can use it to flick out, extend your eye if you like, especially if you have small eyes or your eyes tend to be close together in this area. Alright, so now that we've built the transition color, I'm going to go ahead and move on to adding this color in. This is from the Take Me to Brazil palette. And I find it so much easier to apply this a color to the crease area once you've already created your actual transition tone. It just makes it easier to me. It makes it look a little bit more, I guess, a natural fade. Grab that first brush. I haven't put anything on it. I'm just using it to buff out these edges. Okay, so for this, I'm gonna make sure to put down a base because I really want this next color to really stick on. All right, and to be quite honest, you can use any base you want to apply this next shadow. I just like these pencils. If you're trying to add, if you want your color to pop more, I just find these to be a lot better. And this is in Brown Deluxe by Mahagany. Alright, and I'm going to move on to this color. It's from Wet n Wild. It's from one of their large palettes. It's like a duochrome color. It's like purple, green. It's just really, really pretty. Wipe off your brush before you start doing this because I'm using the same brush that I used to apply the lid color. I'm wiping it off on a towel. It's just to make sure you don't make this shimmery part go all the way up your lid. That's the last thing you need. And if you want this color to pop a little bit more, you can also wet it with a setting spray. Alright, so now that we have the color on, I'm going to add something deeper in the corner here to really make this pop a little bit more so my eyelids don't look flat. It's kind of the same concept of when you contour your cheeks, you want to contour your eyes to make this part protrude forward instead of it just looking like all one flat color. And I'm going to choose to go with this purple and black color from the Take Me to Brazil palette. And I'm just going to use the purple only. Alright, and you can take any moisturizing cream you have and apply it to this and just wipe and remove. And that also adds another way to moisturize underneath here without having to tug on that area. especially for those who have sensitive eyes. Some people, you know, if you apply too much pressure or tugging underneath this area, what it's gonna cause is gonna cause your under eye to swell. And that's the last thing you want. You wipe, make sure you wipe in an upward motion so you don't bring your eyes down, because when your eyeshadow tends to, when this points downward, it actually makes it look like your eye is drooping, versus if you allow it to point upward, it's gonna give you a lifted eye look, a cat eye look, or a more youthful look as well. All right, so for the inside of the eye, I'm gonna go with this color here, and I'm gonna use a very small brush to apply this, and feel free to wet the brush as well with any kind of setting spray. And I'm just gonna pat it and blend it out. Just pat it at the edges, just to blend it so it doesn't have any harsh lines while it's transitioning. Now moving on to eyeliner, and for some reason I can't find my kohl liner, so I can actually apply it underneath and then apply this over it, but it's okay. And this is the NYC eyeliner. Make sure to apply this near your lash line so you don't see any eyeshadow popping through. And usually once I apply one coat, I like to apply another once it dries, just to make sure it looks nice and black. Okay, so one of those days when your eyeliner just goes wrong. Alright, so I'm gonna use a different black eyeshadow, and this is by Sani Kasich. You can get this from Target. It's their all matte palette. Actually, let me get a smaller brush, that's too big. And the goal is to extend this part of the outer crease out to meet this, so it won't make the eyeliner look so crazy and long, because it actually makes your eyes look a little bit, I guess you can say, bigger. And you can always take a lighter color. I'm gonna go with that first base tone color that we used, that yellow, to lighten up this area up here. And then I'm going to apply a little bit more purple in the crease to kind of blend this whole thing out a little bit more. And I'm also going to take a little bit of the Oktoberfest, since we kind of brushed all that away. And I'm also going to clean up these brows a little bit more. Alright, so I'm going to be using these two colors from Black Opal. This is Black Walnut and this is Mahogany. And I like to add a curve to soften up my features, because this is a thing you have to remember. If you already have like these bold features, like, you know, sharp jaw lines, just features that you feel like are a little bit harsh on your, you know, on your face, and it is what it is, but I'm not gonna add to it by adding a straight line. I like to kind of add some kind of curve or something going on just to soften up the appearance. Moving on to Mahogany. And I'm also gonna add Honey by Black Opal. Just doing that because I want to make sure it's not looking extremely dark by the side of my nose. You know what I mean? I'm gonna move on to the MAQPRO Le Maquillage Ethnic palette, and we're gonna be using this color in 62A. And this is this peachy tone is a great color to highlight or to correct any kind of color issues, color correcting issues, especially like under your eye, things of that nature. But it's great for brightening up the face if you're my skin tone. So as far as color wise, if you're a darker, deeper skin tone, then you're gonna want to use something that's gonna color correct your skin, and then that's what you would use to highlight right there, just to brighten up your face. Because that's pretty much what it does. It brightens up whatever that color correcting issue is, and it doesn't make it look obvious. And for browner skin tones, I want to say, you know, if you have color correcting issues or you just want to brighten up, try playing around with different tones of this color here, which is great for brightening and color correcting. Alright, so to blend in your foundation, honestly, you can use any brush that looks like this, that's very, very dense. You want something that will be dense enough for you to staple your face. to blend the foundation seamlessly. So I tend to really pluck up any of these, you know, it just, there's no right or wrong, as long as it gets in there. And this is probably even better for like getting underneath these eye areas here as well. But you know, it's pretty much up to you what tool you want to use, including even your finger. All right, and I'm going to start off with the lightest areas first. And before I get all the way through with this blending, I'm gonna just go ahead and add this little pinky tone here. I just thought it's a nice neutral pink color. Anyway, this is what I love about creams. It tends to go on looking, because you can easily blend it. I'm not saying you can't do that with liquid, but I guess because I first started experimenting with creams, that the more and more I've come to understand it, the more and more I'm like, I'm just in love with it. But yeah. And you just want to make sure you just set all your T-zone areas, which is pretty much across a T across your face. And for the top, I'm just gonna apply some powder in my palm and brush it onto my forehead. That's a little too much. Alright, so I'm just gonna let this powder sit there for a little bit to set those areas. And then I'm gonna move on to Bronze Glow by Black Radiance. And for your bronzer, quite honestly, you can use any brush like this. Any one of these will do to get up in that area, including, you know, these little brushes here. So you're not limited, you know, to any particular shape. It's honestly either one of these would do. It just depends on how you want to apply. I even really love this brush a lot. Initially, I really love this one, but this is great for like trying to chisel and get in there as well, and then fan it up. So I just love that. So it's just kind of up to you and which brush is clean, what's available. You can work with either one. All right, and up here, I'm going to use a lighter color. I don't want to use the same color that I'm using here. I'm trying to try something different. Just to give my face more dimension. So I'm gonna go with this color by Ben Nye. It's called Golden Light. I don't want to look too toasty up there, but you know, just a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up. I'm gonna go with this Physicians Formula to highlight. Alright, let's go back to the lower eyes. And we're using that same color in Mahogany Brown Deluxe. Alright, so I'm going to use this bronze eyeshadow from the Vanity palette by Wet n Wild. But you can use any bronze, sparkly, shimmery eyeshadow. There are loads of these out this season. And I'm going to use this makeup brush to apply it. This is from BH Cosmetics. And then I'm going to go back to this gold color by BH Cosmetics that we used initially to apply on the inner corner of the eye. I'm going to use this color down here to smoke out the bottom lash line. And I'm going to move on to the setting spray by Ulta. I'm going to move on to Professional Makeup in light brown. Alright, so I'm going to use this color by Milani 38 Double Espresso. I'm also going to use this color by Revlon 840. And just make sure to wipe in between applications if you really want that color to really show up. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I try to make it as informative as possible so you guys can understand exactly what I'm doing, why I choose certain things or switch it up. If you liked this video, please make sure to thumbs up, comment in the box below, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.